Tuning in for your final video of the year. We're looking at our final review, day 3. This is the second day of multiple choice that we're looking at. Let's go ahead and jump right in. For number 27, given the measurement of arc SQ is 106 and the arc PR is 120, find the measurement of angle X. This is when we can take those arcs, add them together, and then split them in half. So 106 plus 120, divide it into 2, we're going to get 113. Two sides of a triangle have the following measures. Find the range of possible measures for the third side. That just means I need to be able to do 7 plus 11 should be greater than X, but also 7 plus X should be greater than 11, since 11 is that biggest number. The first option should be 15 is greater than X, so X should be less than, X is less than 18, here, my bad, which is showing up here, here, and here. So not angle B, or not option B. And then the next option, I need to subtract 7 to figure out what X could possibly be. So X has to be greater than 4, and that is only option A. 29, pick the reason that justifies the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. We're going to go with one set of opposite sides are parallel and congruent, okay? We don't know if both sets of opposite sides are congruent. We don't know if the diagonals are bisecting one another, and we don't know if the two sets of opposite angles are also congruent because that's not labeled. For number 30, for the triangle shown below, the Pythagorean theorem would state that f squared plus g squared is equal to e squared. So that would be option A. For 31, finding the missing length indicated. So if we chose maybe to do 8 over 4, we would just pick and stick with that same pattern, x over 6. 48 divided by 4 is going to give me B12. 32, the most specific name used for this figure can be a parallelogram, because we already know it's a quadrilateral. It's not a kite or a trapezoid, but the quadrilateral can now be classified as a parallelogram because we're showing parallel sides. 33 says you're standing at point B. Point B is 19 feet from the center of the circular water storage tank and 17 feet from point A. AB is a tangent to circle O at A. Find the radius of the tank. So we can do our r squared plus 17 squared is equal to 19 squared. So we're just solving for r, and we're going to get about 8.5 feet there. For 34, point P is the end center of triangle TUV, so find PC if PD is already equal to 3. PC would also be equal to 3 because end center is that exact center of your angle bisectors. 35, assume the exchange rate of Canadian dollars to American dollars is 1 to 0.77. If a stove costs $529.50 in Canadian dollars, how much would that be in American dollars? For this one, if you can say 1 American to 0.77 Canadian, so 529.50 is X. We could cross multiply and divide here, and that's going to give us about 407.72. Okay. 36, refer to the figure, the volume of the sphere. Remember, we can find volume of spheres by doing 4 times pi times radius cubed, so that's 4.7 cubed, and then divide everything by 3. We should come up with about 434.9 feet cubed. Okay. Next up, DG and CF are diameters of the circle. Find the measure of arc GDF, so all the way around here. If we know that these are diameters of a circle, then we can start to maybe fill in 55 and 49, already taken up some pieces. So 55 plus 49 is 104, so then I'm going to take 104 from 180, and the leftover amount is 76. So now what I'm looking at is essentially 76 take away from 360. Okay, and I'm going to get, this should say 284 for letter D. Okay, number 38, solve for X in the parallelogram PQRS. These should be equal since they're a parallelogram, so 2x plus 7 is equal to 17, so that means X has to be 5. 39, a telephone pole breaks and falls to shown. To the nearest foot, what was the original height of the pole? We want to just double check to make sure this is our c squared. So we're doing 6 squared plus 9 squared is equal to x squared or c squared. We're going to get about 10.8. So the original height, we're just adding 10.8 back to the 6, and we're getting 16.8, which is closest 17 feet. 2 ladders are leaning against a wall at the same angle shown. How long is the shorter ladder? Excuse me. What we can do here is maybe set up a proportion. I know 54 and 30 can go together. And then I want to know the length of the shorter one, so x over 10. Cross multiply and divide here. I'm going to end up with 18 feet. 41, the pyramid shown has a rectangular base and the faces are isosceles triangles, so find its volume. Rectangular base for our pyramids is 1/3 area of the base, so 4 by 4 times by the height, which is 9, we're going to get 48, and then dividing by 3. Calculate the volume of the cone. Remember, volume of cone is area of the base times height, so pi times 7 squared times 8 is the height, but then we've got to divide by 3, so pi times 49 times 8, and then divide by 3, we're getting about 410.29. Find the length of the mid-segment of the trapezoid in PQRS. For this one, we can find x, which is our missing piece, by taking 1/2 of 60 and 20 sum, and that'll give us C, 40. X to the nearest hundredth, this would be opposite over hypotenuse. This is sine of 35 degrees, so x over 18 is that ratio. The sine of 35 times 18 is going to be about 10.32, so we'll choose option D here. The postulate of theorems that can be used to prove that 2 triangles are similar. For this one, it would just be angle, because no sides are released there. 46, if 2 polygons are similar, then the corresponding angles still have to be congruent. Excuse me, in 47, parallelogram EK is equal to 7x minus 1, and KC is 5x plus 3. Those should be equal to one another, so if we're solving those, we're going to get x is equal to 2. 48, which triangle is not similar to any of the others? We're going to choose option A because everything else looks like a 45, 45, 90. That'll be the conclusion of our final exam review. Thanks so much for tuning in. Good luck tomorrow. We're going to start with free response and then finish up multiple choice. Have a great day.